Sponsored by Celsius Network. Earn, borrow, and pay on the blockchain.
Welcome back to Block TV, and it's time now for Blockheads, where every day we round up the top headlines from around the cryptosphere. And to run us through today's top stories, we're joined by our very own Yonah Hochhauser, also known locally as the Hoch. Yonah, what have you got for us?
Thanks, Ash. Good to be here. Well, first up, we have Reuters reporting how the Fed chief calls for Facebook to halt Libra project until concerns are addressed. Crypto Briefing reports how Binance is launching its own margin trading service. CoinDesk reports how Coinbase is in talks to launch its own insurance company. And CCN reports Bitcoin miners are fleeing China for Iran. CoinDesk reports how the Winklevoss twins, Gemini Exchange, may join Libra's project. And Cointelegraph reports how the U.S. election regulators give tentative go-ahead to campaign token.
Sponsored by Celsius Network. Earn, borrow, and pay on the blockchain.
All right, well, the big story of the day cannot be ignored was that testimony from Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. What can you tell us?
Exactly. So the U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, he just gave testimony before the U.S. House of Representatives Financial Services Committee. This is what he had to say about Facebook's Project Libra.
Libra raises many serious concerns regarding privacy, money laundering, consumer protection, and financial stability. These are concerns that should be thoroughly and publicly addressed before proceeding. And that's why at the Fed we've set up a working group to focus on this set of issues. We are coordinating with our colleagues in the government in the United States, the regulatory agencies and Treasury. We're coordinating with central banks and governments around the world to look into this. And I'll just add that the process of addressing these concerns, we think, should be a patient and careful one and not a sprint to implementation.
So you see there, he said Libra cannot go forward until these concerns are addressed. You know, he raised many, he said, concerns including privacy, money laundering, consumer protection, and financial stability. I mean, and also this isn't him just saying it, you know, throwing out there. He said this before the U.S. House of Representatives Financial Services Committee.
Certainly, that's a big deal. That's a very big deal. It's not just any old thing. I mean, this is staying as one of the biggest bodies and one of the bodies that came out so strongly against the move in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you already had Representative Waters, you know, and many other representatives who were very much against this. But here, Powell, he runs the Fed. You know, he holds really strong power, especially in how it's to be accepted by regulators. Now, Facebook did respond by saying, we are very much in line with the chairman around the need for public discourse on this. This is why we, along with the other members of Libra, we made this announcement so far in advance so that we can engage in constructive discourse. Now, you know, of course they're going to do that. They're going to run this back and say like, yeah, of course, we knew this was going to happen. You know, we're talking with regulators, we're talking, you know, with the public. But so far, the public doesn't seem so happy with it. The announcement stopped Bitcoin's positive run, which almost hit 14K. It's already sitting now below 12K post this announcement.
Yeah, certainly having big impacts on the markets, perhaps shaking the faith and foundations, perhaps a needed correction after Bitcoin's massive bull run, something we'll be watching closely. But now turning to inside the industry, those established players, Binance making some new announcements and developments. What do we got?
Right, so Binance launches its own margin trading service. Binance users can now trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, BNB, TRX, and USDT at up to 3 times leverage on what is the newly announced Binance 2.0. Now, co-founder of Binance said that margin trading is one of the most requested services from their customers. That's why they're bringing it to them. Now, and this carries some risk because margin trading in general is a high risk, high reward business. But you couple that on top of cryptocurrencies, which have historically been quite volatile, you know, 30% swings over a day or two are quite commonplace. The results are sure to be really interesting. And of course, because this is Binance, margin trading fees can be paid with Binance Coin.
Yeah, certainly it's a risky bet going on margin trading in the industry. Just in the last few days, we've seen those massive swings. It'll be something we'll all be interested to watch closely. Hope you don't get liquidated. Be safe, people. All right, and also, what else have you got for us there, Yonah?
Right, well, CoinDesk is reporting how Coinbase does not want to be outdone in the race for crypto exchanges to offer new offerings. So Coinbase is in talks to set up its own regulated insurance company with the help of insurance broker giant Aon. Now, usually the way that crypto exchanges have been insuring up until now is that they simply just set aside some coins in case of a hack or other disappearance of customer funds. Now, what Coinbase is trying to do here is something a little more organized and more official, where funds are going to be segregated and then held in a more of a regulated and audited vehicle, which can help the firm go out and then obtain coverage from the reinsurance market. So this wouldn't be themselves covering. This would be able to get some secondary coverage from reinsurance market. Now, this is an internal insurance project to cover Coinbase. Now, this isn't an insurance product that other exchanges can purchase for themselves. But this is still great news because it shows good progress on protecting customers in the sphere. This has been a big issue with hacks and other things. This would be a good job of protecting customers on the back end. Now, still the best insurance for your coins is picking up the cheap and easy to use, not your keys, not your crypto. Just hodl them yourselves. That is still the best and cheapest insurance plan out there.
Sponsored by Celsius Network. Earn, borrow, and pay on the blockchain.
All right, now, Yonah, when it comes to Bitcoin mining, it's all about location, location, location. Where's the new hot location?
Right, hot location or cold location, because with Bitcoin mining, you want to keep those electricity fees down. You want to keep the cooling down. It's usually the cold areas. But China, up until now, has been a mining haven for crypto miners, because those looking for cheap electricity prices and low regulation, China has been that way. But it seems like China has seemed to sour on miners. New regulations limiting mining has caused miners to turn to a surprise destination, Iran. Yes, the country's electricity remains amongst the cheapest in the world thanks to generous subsidies by the Iranian government. Now, the Iranian government has had a complicated relationship with cryptocurrencies in the past. Iran's central bank has said that Bitcoin trading is not legal in the country, but crypto mining has had a relatively smooth operations, without unnecessary sanctions or too much meddling from the Iranian government until now. Now, it's important to keep in mind Iran has had crippling sanctions waged against it by US and other Western countries, and has been accused of using Bitcoin and other crypto to circumvent these sanctions. It's interesting to see, what effect the mining migration to their country will have on this.
Yeah, certainly, and how US regulators will respond to that. If Iran becomes a hub, will they look kindly on that? I don't think so, but we'll have to see.
Right, how much more can they sanction them? What can they do at this point?
It can always get worse. It can always go downhill. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, and turning a little more locally to the US, the Winklevi are up to no good.
Yes,
what are
so
they up to?
One Winklevoss, two Winklevi.
Exactly.
Yes, so Coindesk is reporting how, in an ironic twist, Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss, co-founders of the New York-based crypto exchange Gemini, may soon join Mark Zuckerberg's Libra association. Yes, that Mark Zuckerberg, who kind of, historically, might have screwed them over in the past by what they claim he stole their Facebook idea. Now, Cameron told Coindesk, "We are definitely looking at it in earnest, and we're excited about the project. Our feeling is this is the first of many FANG companies, FANG being Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, the big ones. According to the Winklevoss twins, every FANG company will have a token project. According to the Winklevoss, our prediction is in the next 24 months, almost every FANG company will have a coin or be working on some sort of project." So it seems like Gemini is kind of jump in on the first one, which would be Facebook's Libra coin. And if Gemini does actually join the Libra Association, they would be only the second exchange to join. Right now, it's only Coinbase.
Good to see people putting their egos aside, getting past the bad blood, and just doing some good business with each other. Good to see the space is maturing in that way. Wish to see how that will all play out. All right, and lastly, what have you got to wrap us up?
Right, well, Cointelegraph is reporting how the Federal Election Commission, or the FEC, has tentatively approved an ERC-20 token issued by potential presidential candidate Omar Reyes, called the Omar 2020 token. Now, the Omar 2020 token has been approved to use as an incentive program for congressional campaign. So the FEC has said that because the tokens, they're essentially souvenirs. They have no monetary value. They're pretty much like giving out pins or stickers saying vote for Reyes. So they're allowing the Reyes committee to issue them to volunteers as an incentive to them. So will this be the world's first bumper sticker on the blockchain? Who knows? But what's interesting to note is that they're considering this to have no monetary value, even though prizes will be awarded to the top 3 OMR holders. But the campaign did say they will delete its Ethereum contract and dispose of the remaining tokens upon the campaign's conclusion. So clearly, the idea that there's not really money to be made with these tokens, you can't speculate on them. They're all going to be destroyed at the end of the campaign. It seems like the FEC is allowing us to go. This is a door in for tokens on potential election campaigns. We have in the past, had different rulings based off giving campaign donations with Bitcoin, which have been ruled as they have to abide by the official, monetary donations. But we'll see what happens with this.
I really look forward to the tokenized election campaigns of the future, and it's going to be an exciting time to come. We'll certainly be covering that on Block TV. I want to thank you, Yonah the Hochhauser, for bringing us all the latest headlines. Stay with us at blocktv.com for all the latest news and developments. I'm Asher Westrop Evans. Thanks for watching.
Sponsored by Celsius Network. Earn, borrow, and pay on the blockchain.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.